All right, we know it's been a couple weeks. We didn't disappear, we just had a few technical difficulties. And by a few, we mean everything completely fell apart at once. But good news, we are very close to getting everything dialed back in. So consider this episode a sign of life and a warning. Because tonight, we're not coming back quietly. We've got two guests joining us, which means things are about to get louder, more chaotic, and significantly less under control than usual. So whether you're here for bowling talk, league stories, or just to see how quickly this goes off the rails, grab a drink, step up on the approach because we're back and almost fully operational. From the approach to the bar, this is Crossing the Foul Line. It's time for your bowling tip of the week, brought to you by Grayless Otter Creek Tire, where they make sure your car rolls smoother than your spare ball. Control your ball speed, don't force it. Too many bowlers think throwing it harder means more strikes. It doesn't. That's how you miss your target, lose your hook, and send the ball halfway into the next zip code. Instead, let your swing control the speed, keep your tempo consistent, adjust with the speed of your feet, not by muscling the ball in the last half of your swing. Because when your speed is right, the ball reads the lane. When it's too fast, it never hooks. When it's too slow, it hooks way too much. Stop trying to throw it like you're late for last call and let the ball do the work. That's been your bowling tip of the week, brought to you by Grayless Otter Creek Tire. Too fast, too slow, either way, we can fix your tires. Unfortunately, not your approach.
So here we are at Vigo Bowl. We've got a couple of, like I said, legends of the lanes. We're here in front of us, and they're giggling about it.
Yes, we are.
Scott Hill and Troy Williams. Hey, guys, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Not bad.
Not bad. Troy, you've been on fire on the senior tour this year.
Yeah, bowled well. Yeah.
2 wins and a Final Four.
Yeah.
Qualified first, 19th, and 7th, I think is what I saw. And maybe not in that
I
order.
believe,
but
yeah.
you were
That
top
sounds about
qualifier
right.
1 week, and then 19th 1 week, and then the 7th the next
Yeah.
week. With all that being said, the top 2 guys in Terre Haute going into the senior tour tomorrow are not going to be there.
We're not going to. Unfortunately, no. We both
Troy's
have.
got better things to do as far as working, and Scott's got better things to do than going with his daughter to where are you going?
She goes to the state tournament, the junior state tournament up in Lafayette.
Okay.
Saturday and Sunday. So so that's where we're going to be.
Good to support that kind of deal for sure.
We're bowling.
Yeah.
Take
No
off
bowling
bowling
for him, but
Yeah, take off bowling to go watch bowling. So.
That's
well,
all right.
it's for a good cause.
Yeah.
That's right. She did a little practicing down there a little bit ago. She did all right.
Not too bad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what practicing's for, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that
She just gave him an evil look, by the way.
Yeah, scores don't count during practice.
You get
No, they
dad.
don't.
Yeah, you get dad chirping in her ear. That don't help either.
Well, I'm sure that's probably a hard thing to do when you've got somebody that's as good as you on the receiving end of that.
Yeah, he tore it up in senior state, so.
Well, yeah, the first day was fine. Man, second day, it was a welcome back to earth.
Yeah.
It's a humbling experience the second day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They put us down on the low end. Man,
Knocking 10
That
pins down
happens.
was tough.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
hard to carry.
So with tomorrow being at Imperial Lanes, how many do you think we'll have tomorrow? I think he said he already had 60.
Yeah, I think it's looking like a good turnout. So
Yeah.
it'd be
So
nice.
we-
need
it'd
the
be nice
local
get a full
boys to
house.
show up.
Yeah, 80 will fill the house. I'm
Yeah.
gonna try to get this out tonight. If I don't have to do much editing because you guys are
Start
or I
talking.
have to put a bunch of beeps in because we got a little carried away.
Start talking like Beavis and Butthead. That's terrible.
So, we've had it here last year, and I couldn't make that one. I was incapacitated.
Yeah, you were out of that one.
Yeah, I was out of that one. That was not good.
I did not do well in that one.
No.
I think I took an early exit too.
Yeah, we both we both headed to the house.
Yeah, I think I had an entry paid already, and then I couldn't do it. Being at Imperial tomorrow, it's a smaller house, but we all know that you can fit 80 bowlers in there, and I think that's what you guys have been getting, about 60 to 80.
I think the highest has been 77.
Yeah.
Arc maybe, was it Arc?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first tournament.
Yeah, I was there for that one actually. I didn't make
That's
the
right.
next two,
Yeah.
but I didn't make February and March, but I did for January. It seems like everybody wanted to schedule my life around the senior tour stops.
Yeah, there's a bunch left coming.
That
so-
happens, yeah. Well, we got a whole year left.
Yeah.
Well, 9 months.
Yeah, I'll be out a few more, and then I'll be back at it. So
I just want to be able to make the tournament champions. I just win tomorrow and it'd be fine.
Yeah.
yeah,
Done
you just
deal.
gotta get 5 in then.
Yeah.
I got to
Yeah.
get 2 more events in. So
That'll be my second one. So we'll be almost halfway there.
yeah, and I haven't bowled there because it's in what Posey,
Oh, yes.
little
Yeah.
bitty house.
Oh yeah,
It's,
that's in Mount Vernon, isn't it?
yes.
Yes,
Yeah, that's where I don't do so well.
That was a rough house.
I heard it was an
rough.
experience.
It is rough.
Well, and that's the crazy thing about the senior tour. Some of the shots we encounter are not very nice.
Yeah.
It's some rough sledding sometimes. Some of the houses like Franklin, throwing darts in the dark, but Franklin you can just light it up. I think tomorrow will be high scoring.
Oh yeah, tomorrow it'll be plus over 100, I'm sure.
Huntingburg was some rough sledding,
Yeah.
which they had the malfunction on lane 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah.
Forgot to oil.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I heard about that.
And then they went back and re-oiled it and apparently didn't strip it.
Yeah, so
Oh
that was a little.
yeah, that's not
But-
good.
Yeah.
It's like, were you at that tournament up at Danville where they did that? They didn't expect so many people to show up, so the end pair they had stripped but didn't re-oil.
I know. I don't remember that.
Oh man,
I missed that one.
there were some hot people that
I
day.
bet there were some angry
yeah.
people.
Oh yeah.
I was on a league up at Expo last year, and it was funny because they had their I think it was League of Masters in there that morning. Basically, they oiled half the house with the League of Masters shot, forgot about it. Oh, put it back to the house shot, and the other half of the house was a house. So you got this side can't they can't do nothing,
Yeah.
and they put quite a bit of pot money in there, so they put this pot money in, and they can't break $1.50, and you got the other side just lighting it up like,
Oh yeah.
as usual.
That would not be
Oh,
good.
that went over floated like a lit turd, but
Yeah. Well, I did one in Champaign that I think it stripped it going down, but didn't oil coming back.
whoops.
Yeah, and
Whoops.
it was bad. It was real bad.
Well,
I was okay because I pulled out the least hook and ball I had and just fired it in there.
Yeah, that's your wheelhouse.
But, oh yeah, the guys with the slower ball speed, nope, they were out to lunch. It was
Yeah.
Or get some good airtime.
bad. yeah. Get the old Ryan Sidney loft going on. You.
Can't hook in the air.
Nope,
No, it can't.
cannot hook
That's
in
right.
there.
That's right. I've played that route before.
Yep.
So I've been dying to ask somebody, and I've been dying to ask somebody on the air. Did you guys see the video J.R. Raymond put out about league bowlers and professional bowlers? And
I heard about it.
you heard about it?
I follow him, but I haven't watched. I've heard about the
Yeah.
video.
If you guys haven't watched it, then I'm not gonna. You have to watch it. But yeah, he talked about league bowlers and
yeah.
not being bowlers because they don't
He's a
bowl.
league hater, and
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
and I don't get it because if it wasn't for the league bowlers, there wouldn't be no PBA tour. So I know that sounds horrible, but it's facts.
I understand. It's like going to the races and there being no fans. There's no reason.
Yeah.
Correct.
The fans are who supports the race cars, and it's vice versa
Yeah.
with the league bowlers and pro bowling.
Yeah.
Because who's home watching them on TV? League bowlers.
League bowlers. We can't all be pro.
So from that aspect, it makes a whole lot of sense. But I do understand a little bit of what he's talking about because they bowl in tougher conditions, and if you've not bowled sport shots with tougher conditions,
Well,
okay, I see that side of it.
yeah, I get that.
But you can't go bashing league bowlers because that's what they do.
No, I did understand what they were talking about as far as like scheduling your leagues,
Yeah.
like scheduling your leagues with your open bowling. Let's face it, it's all about money.
Yeah.
So maximizing the house money. You can have a league on a Saturday night, but that's when your open bowlers are going to come in. And
Yeah.
But
if
yeah,
they
but
go back to the house.
But
that's
how
the
could
day
you
they're
keep a
gonna do it.
sport going with just pros? It's no different than golf.
Yeah.
The heart of golf is the everyday Joe that goes out there and plays golf.
Well, and 3/4 of your leagues are during the week anyway, and
Right.
you're not going to get a whole lot of open bowling.
right.
And Friday night here is about the only place where the house is full, so
Right.
they can put open bowlers on one end and league bowlers down at the other end.
Yeah, I don't know. You got to have league bowlers.
Oh,
it's just
absolutely.
it's the heart of bowling.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hate on him. I get it, but
I mean, honestly, that's where they develop the love for the game.
Yeah.
The camaraderie, coming out, hanging out with your friends, and
the shame of it is the youth bowling has dropped so bad. It's hard to get kids to go bowl.
Yeah. Well, without league bowling, who you got to drag you to a tournament? I mean,
exactly
Right.
I mean, people aren't just gonna, you wake up one day, hey, I'm gonna be a bowler, and come in and practice by yourself day after day. No, you don't see people do that. You join a league. That's what gets you going.
Unless you're Evan Minton and got 300 games a weekend.
Oh,
That guy was in here all the time.
Yeah.
oh man,
My body can't handle that.
Oh, yeah, that was crazy.
chiropractor. He'd start sending me Christmas cards.
I wish he'd have gotten to do that whole Guinness record with him bowling deal.
Oh, I remember
wish
him
he'd got to
talking
finish
about that.
Yeah, I wish he'd got to finish that. That'd have been pretty cool.
Yeah. And it looks like he's got a tournament coming up where they're going to have the
Yeah, like the Peterson.
yeah, the curtains hanging.
Yeah. I don't know if they're going to creatively do the shot like the Peterson does, because that's an experience.
I think everybody should
We've-
experience the
yeah.
Peterson.
Oh, we've talked about that a couple times, but
Yeah.
yeah, if you're going to go to one tournament, you got to go to that
You
one
gotta
at least once.
go do the Peterson one. And it's not what it used to be, but it's still
Yeah.
pretty good from what I gather.
If you think you're awesome and you're all that, go to the Peterson.
Oh yeah,
I didn't get
That's
to go to
how-
the old house. I went to the second
Yeah.
place that it was at there in
Wisconsin or
Chicago.
Well, I went to Wisconsin there for a minute, and then went back to Chicago.
Yeah, I went to the one in Chicago. Yeah,
So did I.
but it was a humbling experience.
Oh, absolutely.
But the cool thing is, the one I bowled, one of the local bowlers in Evansville, Jeff Crowley, won that one. So that was really cool to see him conquer the Peterson. So I did not conquer the Peterson. It beat the heck out of me, but it was fun though.
Incidentally, to do a shameless plug for Scott Johnson, if you're wanting to see some tougher shots, he's got a PBA league. That's on Wednesday nights or Thursday nights.
You know, I'm not
Summertime.
Check it out on Terre Haute Bowling
Yeah, it's-
on the Facebook page.
Yeah, I'm not sure that they.
I know he'd advertised it, but I thought it was Wednesdays.
I'm not
Yeah,
doing any
I'm
summer
thinking
leagues
Wednesdays,
because I'll be out for
I'm not
a
doing
while.
it either.
Well, I tried not to, and then my son talked me into one. I was like,
Well, I'm not doing them because I'm not going to hide it up. I'm burnt out.
yeah.
It's easy to be burned out.
Yeah, I had so many health problems at the beginning of the year that killed my scores, and I finally got back to where I can be okay, and then I'm done.
What?
Yeah.
It's a lot of bowling through the winter now because you got Adams Series, a lot of tournaments, and then we're doing a senior tour, and then we got senior state added in with regular state, and I do the senior masters now, which was really enjoyable. So it's a lot of bowling. So yes,
I'm going to do Saturday, and then I'm going with Scott Dillion, Chris Drake, and Richie Rich Sunday to Jasper. So it's going to be a long weekend.
Oh, for senior state?
Yeah.
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 I tell you what, if you can get the corners out, you'll score.
Oh,
That's the
place
key.
is terrible for corners.
Ah,
Yeah.
It
we
beats
left
me.
so many pins out there. What'd you shoot? Like 760 first day.
771.
770. Yeah. So he lit it up the first day and then came back down to earth the second day.
Yeah.
And it just seems
Yeah.
like
That
it
fire
just
went out
seems-
quick.
It just seems like I start with flat tens, and once I get that out, the freaking ringing tin comes out.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
And that's kind of that's the MO of that house. Yep.
Yeah.
If you can figure out how to get the corners out, you'll score.
You just, you're good for 3 or 4 frames, and then bam, you're right back to, you're always, tweaking your line.
You just feel like you're chasing it, trying to.
Yeah. And by the way, just about had to bleep myself out there. I just about said the F word, but I didn't. It's okay.
Caught myself.
Yeah, it's
See, I got my sensor standing here behind me, so
it's gonna keep you focused.
That's good.
So you guys have known each other for a long, long time. How long have you guys known each other?
Oh man, that's a good question.
I've been here since '01 because I'm from Southern Indiana, so
Yeah.
which is really cool bowling the
Yeah.
Southern Indiana tour because seen a lot of guys I bowled with when I was younger,
Yeah.
so that's really cool. But gosh, 20 years.
Yeah, pretty close.
About 20 years probably. Yeah.
And that's why I wish you were bowling tomorrow. I thought you were, but I saw he said he wasn't. But it was nice to be able to have you down there because you knew a lot of those houses. And then you come up here where you're at now, and
Yeah.
you're not able to. But yeah,
Unfortunately, I haven't bowled very well at Imperial, so it's probably
we're
a good
going to
thing.
try something, Scott.
Oh,
I was going to qualify, and he was going to fly over after work, and then he was going to
Finish
take over for the. He's going to finish it out.
we're bringing the reliever.
I figured he probably couldn't gain enough weight to be able to pass off as me, so well.
Yeah, well, it's a good effort.
Say, I
Yeah, but if anybody qualifies, I'm gonna try to cut out of work and come over and at least cheer them on. Try to
And
get
that's
some
another
local
thing
guys.
we've talked about 2 or 3 times on the show is when we go to those things, everybody sticks around to watch.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, we
Yeah.
all stick around.
Terre Haute guy qualifies. We stay till the last one's done.
The the Terre Haute crew has done well.
Well, if we can't stop bowling each other,
Oh, that's
That's very true. We always seem to take ourselves out.
that's so crazy.
yeah.
It seems like when match play comes, You got Terre Haute guys bowling each other first round.
Well, when he starts out and he starts doing lane assignments, and we're like, okay, this pair, so and so and so and so, okay.
Yeah, it was
this
the one at
pair,
River City.
Scott Hill, Joe Jeffries. Oh man, come on, come on! It just sucks the air out of the room.
Yeah.
But I think you guys are going to have a good group there, though. We were talking earlier that looks like 8 or 9 at least that we know of was going to be there. But I don't know
I think so, yeah.
I don't know who else is in town's going to bowl it. So
Yeah, we weren't sure about
Jay.
Jay Grayless.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll be there tomorrow. Hell, he's taking days off of work to go down south. I mean,
Yeah.
oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe it's, but, he was sick that day.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah, I don't know what
but
you're
it was a
talking about.
miraculous recovery. It was great.
It was.
Let's back up for a second. So, Troy and I, we've known each other 20 years. You and I,
Oh yeah,
gosh, probably 35
probably.
at least.
I thought you guys had known each other longer than that.
No, he was an import, so
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah, I came from the south.
that's true. Did you bowl in college?
No.
No.
Collegiate bowling wasn't that big of a thing down there. We had Vincennes, of course, but just never. I went to college late, so I just I goofed around too much when I was younger. That's okay.
Did you guys have high school bowling down there?
We did not.
Did not.
I was the first. We had middle school bowling, and I was the first group to do that. And then high school bowling came on later.
Yeah.
I kind of wish we did because I got to watch my son Nick go
Yeah.
through the high school bowling, and it's really cool. And
Yeah.
he got to watch Brylan. He's got another one coming, so
Yeah.
it's a cool experience to watch those kids bowl.
I can imagine. That high school stuff started just after I graduated. I was like, hey, come on.
Yeah.
I started that a couple of years earlier.
No kidding.
Yeah, it started in Brazil about a year after I went into the adult leagues.
Yeah.
That's probably the one thing I didn't do was bowl collegiate. If there's anything I wish I would have done, just gave that a go because it is cool to watch them.
Well, Scott did good enough for both of us.
Yeah, he does good at everything.
Yeah.
Whatever.
He's got a heck of a ball driller, though. I'll give him that.
That's right. No, bowling collegiate, I tell everybody, that was the best 4 years of bowling of my life. It was, it's an experience I think everybody should leave me.
All right.
I'll call you back, Dad. No, that was 4 years of my life that I wouldn't trade for virtually anything. And there was you had a 5th year eligibility for ACUI. The guys were nice enough to let me come back to bowl that 5th year for that one tournament.
Yeah.
And I was eternally grateful for that. I'll be honest, my last tournament, I remember the last shot I made, I went back, sat down, bowled like a baby.
Really?
I did. I didn't want that ride to end.
I bet it is an experience for sure.
No.
And now we complain every time we go to the bowling alley.
You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
Every April, when is this season going to be
Is
over?
it ever going to end?
Yeah, a few years back, I was doing Tuesdays and Thursdays at Imperial. They were both short leagues,
Yeah.
short winter leagues, and then I got on one that was back to 33 weeks. Oh my gosh, that 2 extra months is.
Yeah.
Oh my, that's
Yeah, then you got to add on to the in for snow days.
Oh, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm talking to Troy. He's like, oh, we were done 2 weeks ago. And, oh man, I still got
Still bowling.
I still got 6 weeks.
Being your own ball driller, does it give you the opportunity to try different things?
Not as much now with the rule changes. Before, yes.
Weight holes and
you
all
can
that,
manipulate
yeah.
the ball a lot more than you
Yeah.
can now. So I only drill a few layouts. I use the same layouts on basically everything.
Do you still do dual angle, or do you?
I can do
conform
both.
to the new-
But
you can do both?
yeah, I prefer the storm method. It's just easier to understand. But
I'm refusing to understand the new method. It's like new math. I don't want to know.
yeah,
I'll be honest, I never took the time to, learn the layouts, PAP, all that stuff. I give Troy a ball. I said, put some holes in it, make me look cool.
Well, I really didn't start paying attention to that stuff till 2018 or something like that. And all the years I've bowled, I've never paid attention to it. Just whatever, stick some holes in it. Let's go.
Yeah.
And then the past year or so, everything's been the same. I'm like, the ball's going to do what it's going to do. It's built that way for
Correct.
a reason.
And that's kinda-
just give it the same drill and let's go.
that's pretty much why I stay pretty simple.
Unless I want something low flare to where it doesn't react it reacts real slow to the friction. Then
Yeah, mine is a
don't
pin
care about
under. I'll drill a pin under ball. I always carry like 1 pin under ball, but other than that, it's same layouts. So
I almost just did 1 pin under. Got that stealth mode. I won that in that raffle that Joe the Bot had.
Oh, yeah,
Thought, yeah. Maybe I'll go pin down with this just to try something. I'm like, no, just leave it the same.
Yeah.
Just do what works. And
Yeah.
So I got it for nationals because I'm going in June, end of June.
I'm pretty much a keep it simple person anymore. There's no point to get too overly complicated with them. I don't think. The bowling balls, they're so strong. You just like you were saying, just let the ball do what it does.
Yeah. And we all know Scott can just do whatever he wants to with the ball.
He could throw a square ball down the lane.
Oh, I can make anything go straight. That's no problem.
Whether it's touching the lane or not.
Yeah. I've seen him do that.
Oh yeah.
So you want to see something cool? Hook a ball. No.
No.
I don't have that.
No.
No, we'll go straight at it.
I was joking with somebody one time. They said, "Why don't you? Haven't you ever tried to get on staff with somebody?" And I said, "Shoot, there's no ball manufacturer in the world wants to see all their stuff go straight."
I said it, I don't know how many times, but out of all the leagues I've ever bowled, that league I bowled with you guys was the best years I've ever had in leagues. My God, we had some fun.
Oh, I tell you, you get a big rush of memories. When you start going down memory lane with the leagues, just
Oh, yeah.
different guys you used to bowl with, and I'll tell you what, the part that actually hurts me now we're in our 50s, I start thinking about the people I grew up with that I really enjoyed bowling with, that they're not here no more, and it's, man, I could sit and I could talk for hours about about those guys.
So was there one person in particular you looked up to when you were coming through the ranks?
Yeah, it was Guy Johnson.
Guy Johnson.
Yeah,
I
call him.
I've heard that one.
I call him Idol today.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was a little inside joke. I always said, "Oh, you're my idol," and
Now,
wish him happy birthday on Facebook. Happy birthday, Idol.
He says he can't anymore, but I'm sure that if he got down to it and really had to, he could put a set together.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
the first league I bowled in Terre Haute, it was a Wednesday night scratch league here at Vigo. I can remember I just got my license. I was just able to drive. Told Dad I was going to go do this, and it was a draft. I had to get picked. I mean, I didn't have a team or nothing, and I came home that night, and Dad's waiting on me, and he says, "Hey, did you get on a team?" I go, "Yeah." "Who'd you get?" And I said, I wasn't sure how Dad was going to react at first. And if Guy hears this, he'll know what I'm talking about. But I said, told Dad, I said, I got on with Guy Johnson and Vern Payne. I was waiting to get a reaction from him. And he sits there and he's got this stern look on his face, and he kind of puckers his mouth and gives that nod of approval. He's like, "That should be a pretty good team, son." And I said, yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Dad.
What about you?
As far as
Anybody you looked up to when you were coming?
yeah, that's an easy one. Bill Vukovic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I started working in River City when I was like 14 or 15 years old, and he taught me a lot.
I kind of like River City, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, you bowl well there.
Troy introduced me to Bill. Oh man,
He's
Yeah.
oh man, that cat's awesome.
he's a good
He's
dude.
fun to talk to.
Oh yeah, he's got stories, man. He got stories on top of stories. So it's one thing I'm not the greatest at is like telling old stories and stuff and remembering things like that. But it's cool when you got guys like Bill who he'll just rattle off stories about, oh, you remember this happened, and it's like that's pretty cool to get stuff like that from some of those guys. And it sucks seeing them getting older, but we're all getting older. So
Well, that's why my first interview wanted to be with Johnny Mac, because the story that guy's got is just unreal. And I knew I was going to have to cut him off at a certain time and be like, well, we can't be here for 3 hours.
So if we're here any longer, we're going to charge you rent.
Well, we had that senior state going on and everything. It had a noisy background, but that's all right.
Yeah.
It makes for an ambiance.
Exactly.
All right, so you guys are going to humble me here. How many 300s, 800s you have?
I've only got 3 800s. I have no idea how many 300s. I think I'm in the 30s. I really don't keep track, to be honest with you.
Scott's thinking.
5,000.
Yeah. Well, I think from somebody actually I think Brownlee counted them on bowl.com. I think I got 44 since they were recorded. I know I've got somewhere around 30, no, probably around 25 800s.
I think he was bowling with you and me on Tuesday nights when Daryl Davis got his 50th.
Yeah.
I think it was on a Tuesday night with us, and I was pretty happy that I was there for that because that was pretty special.
Yeah.
And that was back when we didn't have the equipment and the lane conditions that we have now.
Yeah.
It's definitely changed.
Oh yeah.
But now they got bowling balls now. They're just rolling bombs now.
Yeah. I did see a video the other day where they had one of those racks where you just roll the ball off of it, and they had the cord sitting in different directions, and just to show how the pulls the ball in one way or another. That was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
That was another thing Johnny Mack and I talked about was the bowling balls he's thrown through the years.
Right.
Rubber
Countless,
and urethane and
I noticed in college, my first year in college, it was still urethane.
yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure it was sophomore year. It was when the Teal Rhino came out. You know, the first resin.
Teal Rhino.
The first resins came out, and I remember back then they were calling them the cheater balls. You know, and
Oh yeah.
and you could just watch the averages. You know, to make an all tournament team. It was when I first started, it was 2-0, maybe a low 2-teen.
Yeah.
And then when the cheaters came out, then it was 215, 220, and just up from there, you know.
My first Rhino was a gray one I bought off Rodney Compton.
Nice.
He loved those things back in the day.
He's
Shoot,
got
he
one
still
now.
throws
He's got
one.
that. He's
Yeah.
got teal, the
Yeah,
new
he's
teal
got two.
Rhino.
He's got two.
Yeah, the Teal remake or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My first reactive ball was the red hammer, the red reactive hammer with a pancake weight block. That was my first reactive ball.
My very first ball was a John Herbert Chagale LT48.
There you go. I had one of those.
Oh
I
yeah.
had a high score 300 still sitting on the rack in Brazil somewhere.
Really? I got to get over there because I got some old little bowling pins and stuff with people's names on them.
Oh yeah, like the
Little
high
trophy
game,
pins,
little
yeah.
high game trophy
Yeah.
pin. Yeah.
I got a bunch of those. I need to.
You remember-
I bought them at a yard or a auction.
Do you remember when they used to do the weekly tournament for the high games over average?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the end of the year they did Champion of Champions,
Right.
where the league champions every year they can all bowl together and then.
That's a
and then-
cool idea. I like
Yeah.
that.
Then they
well-
get sent to wherever it was.
Yeah, it used to with the pins, for the high games, they had a high game over or most pins over your average, and I forget how many they took, but they would have like a little weekly tournament. They televised it.
Yeah.
That lasted a season
Yeah.
or two.
Not very long.
Yeah,
Just think of all the things that have gone by the wayside. The
Oh.
stick the house frame.
yeah. Coke frames and
It went from you all got beer to you all got Cokes and then y'all got nothing.
yeah, good frame.
Good job.
Well, remember, used to, you get all strikes and, you coke the house, and if everybody got 3 in a row, you got, some places they give you a pizza, and,
Yeah.
now, shoot, scores are just way too high to do that. You break houses
I
now.
mean,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I'll
like
never
with-
knock a 300. I still think it's awesome to see people shoot them, of course. But heck, my first 300, there was a news article written about it. You
Yeah.
know, just because it was a big deal. And not saying they're not a big deal now, but it's just, man,
Well,
they almost give them away
Yeah.
sometimes.
remember, I was watching Channel 10 News when I was a kid, and they had a feature on there for Guy, because he had shot 2 300s in a week back in circa 1980,
Yeah.
So
80 something.
times have changed. There's no
Oh, yeah.
doubt.
But
The old YABA days, with all the patches.
yeah.
And that was good times, man.
I got the last 300. It was my first 300. But I got the last one the Terre Haute Greater Bowling Association did for ABC. I got
Nice.
the last 300.
Oh, when it was still
Nice.
ABC.
When it was still ABC, yeah. We went to USBC the next year. And it took me 2 years to get my ring. It was on somebody's desk for 2 years. I won't say that.
Yeah, I understand. It's amazing watching how the game's changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at it now with the handicap. 70s, 80s, it was 75% of
Oh, yeah.
buck 85, and now you got some of these crazy handicap leagues, 100% this and that. Good Lord.
Yeah, that's when they first come out with that 100% stuff. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Yeah. I don't get me wrong. I love bowling Tuesday nights at Imperial, but man, when they come out of that 100% at 300, I was like, oh wow, cool. I get a handicap again.
Yeah, but the guy 20 pins below you is getting.
Oh yeah. I shoot average and just get smacked.
Yeah.
I mean, not even close. Oh well.
Yeah, that's
Nature of the beast.
That's a mathematical conundrum right there. The whole
Oh yeah. Where do you?
300.
Yeah. Where do you draw the line at?
Yeah.
It's the whole handicap thing's always been a conversation, a topic. I get it, I get some sticks now,
Yeah.
My problem is I can't stay healthy is my problem.
Yeah.
I won't be getting any more. I ruined that situation, but that's okay.
I went up to Danville one time. We're rolling on the old part. And I go back around the counter. He's back there laying on the floor, all twisted around and everything, trying to loosen his back up. It's like, what the heck are you doing?
We went to Danville and he got hurt.
He got some back problems going on.
Troy, I told Troy, I was like, hey, we was going up to Danville to shoot a doubles tournament, and the day before I threw my back out. I couldn't even stand up straight, and I thought, oh no, I got to fix this. So I'm rolling around on the floor, got the salon paws, popping ibuprofen, and that next morning I thought, all right, we can do this. And I got out of bed. I'm like, oh no, this ain't gonna be good. And get to Troy's house, and he's like, you all right? I said, no, but we're going to bowl. And
Must have been the same day.
yeah,
Must have been the same day. It was a few years ago.
Oh, poor Troy, he's bowling like you shot
299 the first game.
Yeah, I'm trying not to pee down my leg.
I've only had help at a tournament one time, and it was Scott. I was at Danville bowling with Evan Mitten, and we'd made the cut, and we were doing the bracket or whatever they had going on. Evan had gotten us there through qualifying, and then we went to Baker's, and I was getting us through Baker's because Evan had lost a little something, and then I started striking and wouldn't stop. And then Scott's like, okay, every other ball you throw, you need to move half a board left. I'm like, okay. And it worked just like a charm. I never stopped striking. And we ended up going to the finals, and I think we lost in the finals. But.
Yeah, some places you go to, man, once they start burning up, they go quick. You don't have, you're years back before Brazil put down their Guardian, it was that way. It just, once the lane started, once you had to start moving in, you just kept going. It didn't stop.
Yeah.
And that was, some nights there it was kind of humbling.
So, is there a tournament you'd like to see happen at some point? Is there a format that you've ever thought about that you thought?
I'm a nostalgic kind of guy.
Yeah, I'm not a crazy format.
Yeah.
I'm an old school.
I'd tell you what I like to shoot a Scotch doubles with somebody, but you don't see
I like
that
what
anymore.
Adam's doing.
Yeah.
The different types of tournaments, and you throw the Super Bowl in there, which is really cool. Which that's more of a party than a tournament, but it's still it's a good time. It's a blast.
Adam does a phenomenal job of it.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're so smooth.
Yeah.
The ideas he has for them are usually pretty good. So yeah, it's great.
Well, it's keeping people bowling,
yeah.
and that's the hard part nowadays.
Especially trying to bring people in during summertime. That's next to impossible.
The sport's it's just dying. It's dying a slow death, unfortunately.
Like anything else, it's getting expensive.
I remember when I was a kid that the houses were full every night.
Yeah.
You guys probably remember that. Every single night.
Well,
Double
I remember
leagues.
Tuesday night league we were on. The college kids lined out the door waiting to be done bowling.
Yeah.
So they could get on the line, pair lanes.
My first experiences in a bowling alley. It's how I learned how to keep score because I kept score for my grandfather's team.
Burning your hand the whole time on the light.
On the projector. You're like, eh.
Oh man, I was in high
It was
school.
great times. It's good memories. You know.
When I was in high school, my grandma Williams, she talked me into keeping score for the women's state tournament when it was in Terre Haute. And that was before Terre Haute Bowling Center had the automatic scoring. So, you're in there keeping score for, oh my gosh, you should go in for first shift at 8 o'clock and you're leaving at 6 at night, and you've kept score all day long. You wake up in the middle of the night and you still thinking you're keeping score somewhere, You're looking around seeing what somebody shot.
Well, and they weren't they weren't shy to correct you back then either.
Oh, man.
A lot of life lessons, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I lost a couple pounds of butt from a few people.
Yeah. So,
Because
well, and you couldn't breathe in the bowling alleys back then either, so you know, it was just a
that's true.
cloud.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
when I started, like I said, when I was in high school, I worked in Brazilian lanes all through high school and all through college. And I remember probably the first 3-4 months I worked there, Mom and Dad, they swore I was smoking. It's like,
Oh,
no.
yeah.
It just smelled like it all the time.
You come out and smell like an ashtray, and then
Yeah.
I will say that's better now. I didn't care for all the smoking.
Yeah.
you'd come back from the back of the house. You know, you're looking up through the lanes, and man, you can see about a good 2-foot layer of smoke, you know, hovering over on the ceiling.
Yeah, it's good times.
Yeah, we had that everywhere back in the day, but now I get anywhere
Can't go
10
nowhere.
feet of somebody, and I'm like, oh no.
Well,
Yeah, exactly. I can't take that no more.
No, it's crazy. Well, guys, I appreciate you coming on.
Oh,
We've
no
been
problem.
About,
Yep, it's been a joy.
35, 36 minutes now, so that's not too bad.
Hopefully they don't laugh at us too much.
Oh, no. If they do, we can't hear them.
That's right.
Yeah.
Heck with them.
That's right. Yeah. All right, Scott Williams and Troy Hill. Scott and Troy, appreciate you guys being on.
No, thank you, Joe.
Yep, thank you.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode of Crossing the Foul Line. Big thanks to Troy and Scott for jumping in tonight and adding to the chaos. We should be uploading episodes more frequently from now on, assuming the equipment doesn't file for early retirement. Seriously, if something sounds off, cuts out, or just straight up disappears, it's not a technical difficulty. It's a feature at this point, but we're close to what we aren't sure. Until next time, close your bar tab, step off the approach, and we'll see you next time on Crossing the Foul Line.